facts are facts. I don't care what y'all say. And y'all need to stop using this whole talking about I have a theory. First of all, as a actual degree scientist, a theory is a highly accepted idea by accredited people. Most of y'all have hypotheses, which is an opinion. You do not. Y'all using theories ever since the daggone pandemic. This is my theory. It's not a theory because y'all are unaccredited individuals. You have a hypothesis, which is an educated guess, which is your opinion, which your opinion should be respected by everybody, regardless if you agree with it or not. You should respect another person's opinion. But again, a fact is a fact. So stop using the word theory all the time. Y'all probably gonna hear me say this again because I'm sick and tired of it, because I went and dropped $80,000 for me to be able to use the word theory in any setting that I feel like, especially when it comes to my field of study. Most of y'all are not accredited to do it, so stop saying you theorize this, that, and the other, because it's your opinion. It's not a highly, widely accredited, acceptable idea. But respect people's opinions, even if you don't agree with it. And like Dr. Leak used to say at UNC Charlotte, we have conversations in his course, and I'm a debater. And he said, let's just agree to disagree. He never said I was wrong. He never said that he was right. You know what I'm saying? But we agreed to disagree.
I'm just laughing.
And that was a respectful thing.
I'm just laughing because when people...
Because it could have went to where you were saying, like, what we do...
But I'm just laughing because people love saying that, but they like saying it when we're all actually agreeing. Let's agree to disagree. You're really saying that when we're agreeing.
Yeah,
once we disagree, we can't disagree to agree.
I mean,
or however the hell
I can agree to disagree, but if you agree to disagree, that if you both agree to it, the subject needs to be left alone at that moment. Because the moment that you begin to continue that subject matter, you're disagreeing. There is not agreeing to disagree.
Mm-hmm.
If you agree to disagree on any subject matter, once you say that and you both agree to that, next subject, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
We have what we call L10s every week. Sometimes I have a couple of them a week because I do stuff with my company on the West Coast. And that's when we get to a point like that, we'll just say, all right, moving on. Just let it go. Because you know how I can get, and people know how I can get. They'll say that, well, here's the dark side of Eric or whatever. And I'm like, nah, it ain't the dark side. It's just I'm passionate about what I do and how I feel. But I respect people's opinions. You know what I'm saying? You got the right to believe, because, again, the only fact of the matter is that I'm 5'8", and I'm copper toned and skin color. You know what I'm saying? But on intelligence level or whatever else it may be that somebody may have about me, it's an opinionated level. Some people might think I'm dumb. Some people might think I'm a genius. Mm-hmm. I proclaim myself to be a genius. I know I've always been one, and I believe it. Just like someone may believe that they're a male or a female, even though they're in a different body. But that doesn't mean I have to agree with them how they feel. You know what I'm saying? Or whatnot, based on what I see, or disagree with them all the way.
And to be honest, at the end of the day, people have to realize this too. At the end of the day, everybody does their own thing. As they say, do you, boo? Do you? And that's what another thing that people have to, well, I don't want to use the word have to, because no, we're not telling you how to feel. What we're saying basically it is, you got enough going on in your life, I'm sure. Well, this is how
that you don't need to waste your time trying to convince somebody else. And that's an issue that I have with LGBTQ community, is y'all are who you are. Embrace it. You know it, and everybody in your community knows it. You don't have anything to prove to anybody else. Stop trying to prove to people and make people believe in what you believe in. It's no different than Christians going to houses and trying to get Muslims to become Christian or whatever. It's the same thing. Believe what you are and love who you are, embrace who you are as LGBTQ or even straight people or whatever. You know who you are. The people that support you know who you are. You have nothing to prove to anybody. Nothing but yourself. You prove stuff to yourself that you can do it and you're going to make it. Everything's going to be fine. Don't worry about these people that's hating on you and stuff like that. Especially if they're not posing a threat to your life or your well-being. And that's when it becomes an issue. That's why I know you should stand up, because we deal with that as people of color, especially males in this country every day. And our female sisters do too. whether they're Latino or American or whatever, African, whatever. We all deal with it as people of color. But stop feeling that you have to change the minds of the world, because the fact of the matter is just like we have been here as people of color, LGBTQ people have been here also since the beginning of time. It was in the Bible. It was before the Bible was written. So y'all ain't going nowhere, just like we ain't going nowhere. And like they say, can't we all just get along? and the answer is no, we're all not going to get along. This world is not going to ever be a perfect utopian place where everybody accepts everything, and that's okay.
But again, I'll say this. Just because you see something across the street, you ain't got to run over there. Stop running across the street even when the person ain't looking at you. A lot of y'all just doing that. You might be like, no, it is an analogy, because that's what y'all doing. If I'm way over there, right here, I'm right here, and you see, you can't even see my other hand in the camera, but you find some way to bring yourself. You see my hand coming towards my hand way over here? This is you. This is the other person. And you want to bring yourself over here. This person didn't wave. They like this. See, my fist is closed. They didn't wave. They didn't say, yo, what you want? Yo, come over here. They didn't do none of that. You see, and you take upon your energy to run across somewhere and get yourself involved.
Instead of worrying about your own crap that you need to be taken care of, which again, this is what I teach my daughters. Worry about yourself. If you take care of yourself, if everybody take care of themselves, the world will be a whole lot better functioning place.
And us being, again, content creators, I hear from many other content creators, if y'all don't like what we saying, move on to the next creator. It is that simple, people. It's that simple. Because guess what? Just like you,
we don't care.
But you
don't
still.
Like
but just like you, I'm going to do me. He going to do him. You going to do you. So you even coming over here 9 times out of 10 ain't going to stop the person from doing.
Nope. You wasting your energy and time. I mean, most people are trying to get big off of other people's backs anyway, instead of just putting in the work. But we not on here. We don't bash other creators or whatever. Like, why would we waste the time? We trying to shine in our own light. You know what I'm saying? Not even trying. We are shining in our own light. Again, it's 2 geeks, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing against anybody else. It's about us. This moment, this time on this camera or whatnot, when we do these, freestyle shows or anytime we have anything with a podcast, it's about us. About us, releasing our thoughts and sharing it with the world in hopes to help somebody else. And if it don't help you, again, send us a comment. Tell us what we could do better. Tell us what, you know what I'm saying? And we're not going to shoot your opinion. Like, literally, if you say, hey, I wish you would talk more about animal abuse or do a show, we're going to do it. We'll do it. You know what I'm saying? If you are a LGBTQ person and would like to come on the show and explain to us, you know what I'm saying, some of the stuff we just talked about, send us an email. We will do a Zoom recording, you know what I'm saying? We can meet you if you're in Charlotte or whatever. You can come over and we can shoot an episode with you. You've been a person that's been abused or whatever, and you want to get your stuff out there. We're more than happy to listen and would love to shoot an episode with you. So again, like we're saying, so we can sit down and understand one another. That's the only way people are going to really have that so-called utopian lifestyle is, 1, like he said, respect each other's opinions, and 2, take the time to understand, but 3, it has to be done with communication. And that's what I've said, several times the last couple of weeks talking to people about relationships because of things I'm going through or have been through or whatever with my relationship with my other half, is that if you communicate, respect, and understand each other, it will work. It will work out better in your favor, and this is any relationship ever, not just a marriage or whatever. Even in our friendship, same thing. Me and him we've had times we done butt heads, but when I realize I've wronged him, I go and apologize, whatnot, and say, look, I was wrong, whatnot.
And I'll even be honest.
But he understands me. He understands I'm passionate about how I feel.
And I'll be honest, even times when he may not apologize, because no offense, but everybody don't apologize for everything.
Mm-hmm.
We being honest.
Yeah.
And there's been a couple of times I'll be like, well, since he didn't, I did. He didn't, and I still did. Every time, no. But there's been times I still did, and he may not have. And why am I wrestling? And I'll be honest, why I wrestle with that stuff? Because again, when somebody hurt us, we want to hurt them back.
Whether it's intentional or not. But a lot of times, if somebody do hurt you, people do be on some like, well, I want you to feel the way I feel type of thing. And it's like, your emotions and your feelings is not the same as the person that hurt you. That person that you trying to hurt might not give a flip about it and be like, I'm used to being hurt. Like me, I'm used to people walking out of my life. So if you decide to walk out of my life, yeah, I might think about it, be hurt about it for a while, but eventually I'm going to get over it because I go back to my actual birth father. If my father, who actually helped bring me into this world paternally, walked out of my life and still denies me to the day, then what can another person do to me? What can be more hurtful than that? Though I've dealt with it and I've gotten over it, but I always go back to it because it's a reality or whatnot. And man, don't try to hurt people because they hurt you.
And it ain't easy because I went through this, and he'll tell you because he was the one schooling me on it a few weeks ago because I was dealing with some clowns.
Yeah.
And I was hot. Because it was literally back to back to back. And I know you might see me on the Joyful series saying, well, you was talking this and that. You not, number one, when someone don't get it right all the time in your eyes, don't use that against them. And no, I'm not saying being human or not getting it right is an excuse. That's another thing, probably a whole nother episode. I call it wearing a veil of perfection. People like taking these veils, and another analogy, everybody, putting it over their heads of perfection, saying they don't, and they doing it, and then when you do it in front of them, they gonna knock you upside the head 20 to 50 to 100 times harder. It may have done it less than 5 minutes to your face, and then we looking at you like, you just did this. Did you forget when I gave you grace?
Like old boy said, on the songs, it's cool when they do it, but problem when I do it. Like, for real, like, literally think about it. Like, when you do stuff like, you know, like I say, golden rule, treat others how you like to be treated. Like, it's literally that. If people just did that, the world would be a damn near perfect place.
But alternative to that, everybody actually don't want to be treated.
Everybody don't want to be treated great.
So some of y'all nasty folks,
or they believe they don't. I think people generally want to be treated a certain way, but because they let their life circumstances at the time, like you said before,
hurt people.
No, like you said before, this isn't something permanent. This is something that you went through. It's something that's not forever. It's a moment. It's the moment. You say, this is what's happening.